Hello, hello. This is Samara, your feminist alchemist. Welcome to your North Node update for June 2022. I'm doing the readings a little different now as per my guides. So we're changing the flow and the format in that the lovely kind of longer 1 hour readings I'm going to be doing for a 3-month time span now. So I'll do them once a quarter or once a season. And in between, I'll be doing update videos where I'll do all of the signs and kind of just do an energy update. And each of the signs will be time-stamped below. I think I'm going to do like an overall energy update in the beginning, and then we'll go through each of the signs. If you're feeling this video, give it a like, a thumbs up. You can subscribe to the Feminist Alchemist channel. And what else can you do? You can click the bell to be notified when I upload. What else do I have? In the description box below, there is a video that describes what the North Node placement is all about. If you're new to the North Node, it's a mathematical point in your birth chart that describes your source of soul expansion in this lifetime. And I just made a little 2.5-minute video outlining how my guides described it to me. That's in the description box. And I've also linked for each sign a full North Node description by Astro Finesse, who's also on YouTube, one of my favorite resources for all things planetary placement, astrological chart. Yeah, so you can check that out. And without further ado, let's move to the overall kind of energy for June and all the North Node signs. So this is just surrender to joy. A key to positive change in your life is to let joy in and savor it. Indulge in random acts of smiling during both the hard and easy times. Keep surrendering to more joy. So what I'm getting from that, I'm just doing a quick 1-card kind of pull to talk about the overall energy for all of the signs. The month of June is really going to be about identifying why you do what you do, and sometimes doing things just because you like to do it. Ultimately, trying to do more things just because you like to do it. Because there has been this overwhelming point of view in society, especially from what we've learned from past generations, a lot of us, is that, work is work and fun is fun. They're two very separate things. You can't only want to have fun if you want to be productive. And this is about being productive in an energetic sense. And whatever your intention and energy is being amplified or is amplified by your attention to it and how much energy you put into it. So if you are delaying or putting off your joy because you think that other activities will be more fruitful, then they're saying you're kind of missing one of the cornerstones or essential ingredients in manifestation and co-creation. And also a major signal from your soul that you are aligned with it. So June, for all of the North Node signs, for all of us, all of you watching this video, is going to be about amplifying joyful energy, which means that there could be things falling away, boundaries being set. We're going to find out what that means for each sign as we... So I'm guessing they're going to want me to leave this card out for all of the signs while I go through what your update is. Yeah, okay, we'll continue. We're winging it, or I'm winging it, as in I didn't sit down with them and make them give me the map of which deck to use when and how to set it up. This is me surrendering, surrender, to whatever way they want the information to come across. Okay, so let's go through the signs. The first sign on deck is Aries. I'm going to start with adding a card from the Oracle of the Roses. I'm adding 2 cards from the Oracle of the Roses. No, sorry, I get them mixed up. This is the Rose Oracle. And then I'm going to use the Oracle of the Roses. So the Rose Oracle is by Rebecca Campbell. At the time of this reading, it is the latest deck by Rebecca Campbell. We are nature. Okay, we got 3 cards from there. And they want the bottom card too. Interesting. Plant yourself here. Codes of the seeds. And they want this one too. Morning dew, clarity, a fresh start, a positive outlook. So becoming grounded, embodiment, living in connection. Sorry, I'm going through them again. Plant yourself here. Integration, embodiment, grounded action. Codes of the seeds. The blueprint is within you. Take the next step. And morning dew, clarity, a fresh start, a positive outlook. I'm getting here that Aries North Node, getting back to your true nature is essential. It will be your focus for the month of June. And they're saying that in that who you think yourself to be is going to adjust. So you will be surrendering old ideals of yourself. And that is, and taking practical steps for this person that you remember yourself to be, like for that to be no longer just out in the ether. It's going to be in the 3D. Plant yourself here. Grounded action is what's standing out here, that you will be prompted, find yourself in opportunities to make a plan to take the next step, because what is being birthed within you, they're saying it's been there since childhood even. This is something very essential about you, that you're now having the courage and confidence to put out into the world. And clarity, a fresh start, a positive outlook. June is a great time for you to start seeing all things as possible for you. And I see a lot of cleaning out of people who are not quite aligned with you, or the you that you really are. You may find that your friends were aligned with who you thought you are, or who you wanted to be, or who you thought you should be, and not so much who you essentially are and what your essential blueprint is. But you may also find yourself coming into contact with people who see something deeper in your nature and want to nurture it. And then we have from the other rose deck, the Oracle of the Roses by Sherilyn Darcy, that's her name. We have the Innovator, card 42. And this is all about, the Innovator has the message of what you have to offer is very unique to you. And on the bottom of the deck, you have the Ruler, Old Garden Rose. What you have to offer is very unique to you. So if it's up to you to heed the guidance and open yourself to the guidance of how to manifest that and how best to fertilize that. They're giving me a bunch of gardening words because of obviously the plant decks. This is really up to you to take the lead on that, because other people won't necessarily see and feel the potential that you see and feel. And this is why a fresh start, especially like in your friend circle and your support circle, the people, doesn't mean that people are going to drop out of your life completely, but you may, they'll be arranged in your life differently. So your inner circle may change and some of the outer circle will change. People will change their position in life according to your nature, which is becoming more, they're saying becoming more wild, becoming more willing to be a trailblazer, which is what Aries North Node is about, moving towards that fiery lead and trailblazing kind of energy. And remember, joy is your compass, as the first card of this reading said. Well, a lot is coming out. I hope it's coming out in an order I can get to. So we have the Two of Cups upright. I think kind of want it. And then we have the Emperor. As I said, this is impromptu to how they want me to do it, which is next. Knight of Swords, Nine of Swords, and the Knight of Cups. Sorry. So, yeah, month of June, your relationships, friendships, partnerships, all of your close, intimate relationships are coming up for review under this joy envelope, under the topic of joy. And you're really going to start to see, it's going to be brought to your attention how other people's energy affects yours and whether or not you like that investment, or that investment of time and energy is working for you. And the Emperor is going to set the necessary boundaries to protect the garden where you're planting all of your ideas, hopes, dreams, ideas, and plans for the future. The Knight of Swords is indicating that you're going to, this clarity and fresh start, your positive outlook. You may have to very much be a Lone Ranger moving forward with that, but that's perfectly fine. I see you being your own protector In that, what also happens though is sometimes you become overburdened and weary, overthinking and doubting yourself as well. That can happen. So you may have to be wary of that. So you will have to be wary of that in the coming month, because there's so much around you where there's the energy of people doubting that which you feel so confident in. And the reason why you should feel confident in it is because this is coming from your DNA. This is coming from like your soul calling to you, your heart calling to you. And the Knight of Cups, see, I really love this eagle or hawk. I'm not sure how to tell the difference, sorry. But the bird is, to me, this is you on a journey with the divine, and the divine signal to you is one of intuition and emotion. Once again, using joy as a compass. So there will be times of doubt. There may be people around you who also doubt you. It's time to... So they're giving me a very specific example. If you have people who want you to be quote unquote realistic because, oh, we care about you and I don't want to see anything, I don't want to see you disappointed or hurt or, somehow at a disadvantage, that's fine. You can say thank you for caring, but you still need to distance yourself from people who actively seek to diminish your resolve and your inner knowing, or want you to doubt your inner knowing, because this is a time where we're all embracing our inner knowing, and that is what the divine wants from us, because embracing your inner knowing is basically trusting your divine nature and trusting the divine, period. What else? How else should one move forward in life if they cannot trust their own divine connection? These readings I do are about keeping you or aligning you with your soul path, and even when it comes down to it, it's still about you, your soul speaking to you. So what we have here, I'm going to pull some final surrender cards from the, what's it called? Power of Surrender by Judith Orloff. I love these cards for when I just need some quick and real advice. So we have surrendered defensiveness. Defensiveness is a sign of weakness. To communicate in a more empowered way, stay centered and hear someone out. Then offer a clear, non-defensive response. And then we have surrender procrastination. Now is the time to jump on a goal instead of putting it off. Taking action will attract success. So in your final oracles here, we have, if these people and situations around you don't support the future that you see for yourself or what you know deeply within your heart and soul, don't waste your energy trying to get them to see your side. Your power is in staying peacefully aligned with, you got your horse, you have your guide who can always fly up and go see what's ahead and come back and let you know. And you trust that you are going to find the right direction. And that leads us to surrender procrastination. Now is the time to jump on a goal instead of putting it off. Yeah. It's time to get on that horse and start taking steps in that direction in order to attract the people and the situations that are going to make you successful that are going to align you with the right next steps. Yes. Okay, Aries North Node. That is your quick update for June 2022. And I will see you for another update in July. In July? Yes, I'll see you for another update then. Take care, be well, and stay blessed. Bye for now. Hello, Libra North Node. Welcome to your update for June 2022. Let's start with the Rose Oracle. Okay, starts with release the petals, transformation, death and rebirth, shedding, all change. I have a feeling that the format is going to be different for each sign. So, which is great, you know, going with the flow. Okay, so Libra North Node, I'm getting that you are going through okay, here we go. Healing is happening. I was about to say that. You're going through a healing process. Healing is happening. You're not broken. Trust the process. It's safe to soften. The Wild Rose. Do it your way. Embrace your uniqueness. Untamed. This is, sorry. I would have liked to come in this with a plan, but I'm learning to let go of the plan. Doing things a new way brings new discoveries, even if it's uncomfortable. This is what my guides are telling me. And trust the seasons, embracing change, cycles of life, transition, and growth. So what I'm getting for you, Libra North Node, is that, yeah, you're in a great moment of transformation and shedding. Trust that the changes are for your benefit, even if they are bringing up some turmoil for you, because do it your way, embrace your uniqueness, untamed, is about being courageous and knowing that you were created with your likes, dislikes, and everything the way it is, for that to take you on your own journey of development, and the same thing with other people. So Libra North Node is very much about, yeah, being balanced, seeking balance, and allowing yourself to be a balancing factor. But as I said, the South Node always contributes to walking your North Node path, and your South Node is in Aries, which is, you know, the fiery, let's say, sorry, I should stop shuffling. I shuffle sometimes to think, but I'm sure you can't really hear me. So, Aries is the fiery leader, go its own way type of sign. And it always comes up in these Libra North Node readings that, you know, the balance is being an individual yet contributing to the bigger whole. Now, if you feel pulled between the two, as if you can't be unique and be balancing in the whole, they want you to know that your frequency is what it is in order to provide balance to the whole, right? So even if you may not see it in the micro sphere, in the macro sphere, it's a bigger. So they're saying that in your, let's say, in what you are aware of, you may not feel like you are a balancing factor, or that if you do it your own way, that you will be benefiting. Like, it may feel selfish to you. or that you're disregarding others. However, this is about your transformation, healing, and your uniqueness is exactly what it needs to be for balancing a bigger picture than you're able to see right now. Take another rose card from another rose deck, Oracle of the Roses. Oh, same card as Aries. You got the Innovator. Modern Garden Rose. So I feel like there's a lot of something around like family and tradition and the way things are done that is healing for you. So I'm getting the impression of, like, for example, if the way that you started your family, or if you have a surrogate kind of family, your lifestyle may be less traditional. And they're also saying, like, let's even take away the word traditional and make sure that we're defining that as something that is expected by those who raised you, or those that you are, closely connected to, community-wise, born into. The one that you're born into, the one that you create for yourself, could be very different. And this once again comes down to everything that's around you. Like, know that this process is happening so that you can have more joy in your life. And some of that requires dealing with some really crappy emotions. And so I'm going through the tarot now, the Tarot of the Divine, and the first card out is the Hierophant, which is all about ancestors, traditions, collective consciousness. So some of you are here to change the game for your bloodline. And some of the healing that you're going through is not, I don't want to say it's not your own, but it's not from this earthly life that you have now. It's like an ancestor coming forward to be healed, or ancestors in your bloodline that need a pattern to be healed. So they're giving me the example of, if you are, for example, in a same-sex couple, and you're building a household, a family around that, but your family is prickly in one way or another about that. There may be something in your bloodline that has to do with being, like, people not being allowed to be with who they wanted to be with, whether that could have been from, class divide, racial divide, but some type of intervening factor of being actively disconnected, or what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word we're looking for? Prevented or deterred. That's what I'm looking for. Actively prevented or deterred from being with the person you want to be with. Like, so for example, maybe someone was disowned, someone was disinherited, someone was displaced, or persecuted for loving who they love. This doesn't apply to everybody, but that's the example they gave me. So that applies to someone out there. Ace of Wands, doing things differently. You're being given a gift from the universe and the permission of the universe to go ahead and do things differently. And then we have the Strength card, which is they want a fourth card. But the Strength card is telling me that you're going to need some resilience to get through this month. It's about standing your ground and standing in your truth, Libra North Node. Okay. Then we have the Six of Coins, which to me is total Libra energy. The balance of give and take. Make sure that your relationships, that you're not making sacrifices for people who just want you to fit their mold and don't have anything real and valuable to offer you in return. Asking for reciprocity in a relationship is not selfish, nor is it, manipulative, or, you only give to get. It's not about that. But if you are considering someone else's well-being and they're not considering yours, meaning that you end up making sacrifices of your well-being for theirs and they don't give that in return, then that is not a healthy relationship, right? The Six of Coins is asking you to really look at the balance of give and take in your world, because you seem to be surrounded by people who take. And the Ace of Cups is at the bottom of the deck. So they're saying that's kind of on the other side of this, the refilling of your cup, your refilling of your emotional cup. Let's grab a couple surrender cards that are specific to you. Have surrender to the wisdom of your body. Listen to your body's messages about a person or situation. This is what we're saying here. If you're feeling physically drained or uncomfortable, be cautious. If you're energized and happy, move forward. This is, again, another level of surrender to joy, but more specific to how your intuition may be working. And they're saying that there is some of you out there who have like a health issue that's rooted in you feeling that you can't be yourself, or people insulting or criticizing you. And some of that may actually be because of how people have made you feel about your body as well. So pay attention to that. So if you're already kind of critical about how you look and you're around certain people who make you feel even more critical, those aren't good people to be around, right? But you're definitely, they're saying that you're going to, if you're around this transformation that's happening right now, if you're around people who like you're supposed to be, who you're healing from and distancing from, you will feel it in your body. So there are going to be people who are going to make this transformation feel more disturbing, and there's going to be people who make it feel smoother, and that's also something that you should really pay attention to. And we have here as the final surrender card, surrender denial. Accept people and situations exactly exactly as they are without denying the difficulties. Then you can see things clearly and make the best decisions. Yeah. There's a lot of energy around the people in your life. Family, extended family, or the family that you've created for yourself. This is very specific. I'm going to say it though. If you are estranged from your family, be sure that the family that you've created for yourself as well actually is holding you in a safe and loved space, and you're not, just settling settling for anywhere where you can, for any substitute for a family, because who you surround yourself with in the month of June is going to be a determining factor for how long this transformation stays uncomfortable. Yeah, that's the best way I can put it. All right, Libra North Node, I think next month is just going to be an update reading as well. I will check with my guides to be sure, but I hope this resonated with you. And until next time, take care, be well, and stay blessed. Bye for now. Hello, Taurus North Node. Welcome to your June update. So let's start with the Rose Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. I've already pre-shuffled, so just to shake up the energy a bit. Ooh, gotta light those candles again. Knew something was off a little bit, but not off enough to keep the cards from coming. So why don't I finish this row and then I'll do a little candle lighting break. So it looks like, okay, do a little pause here and I'll light the candles. Be right back. Yes, we're back. That feels better now. So what you have here, you have the bud, potential promise. It's about to happen. Keep going. The sacred waters, nourishment, replenishment, health, rest, and self-care. Rose without thorns. You have a right to your joy. Ooh, continuation of the first card there. And then sweetness of life. And we are nature, becoming grounded, embodiment, living in connection. So I'm hearing that you are on the right path, whatever path that is. So if you have been doubting that, then please do not. What's important, though, as you keep moving forward, because I'm feeling a vibration of maybe frustration or wanting things to move faster, wanting things around you to change more quickly as well. And this is a reminder that everything happens in its time. And even though you're pushing forward for things to change, and this may be, they're saying that some of you may not even think that you are pushing forward, but it's also a kind of mental, emotional intention. So if you're focused all on when this is going to happen for me, I can't wait for this to happen. Oh, I'm waiting for this to come around. I can't wait for this season or this person to show up, for example. That is also pulling on your energy and pulling on your ability to be where you are now and make the best out of where it is you are. And it's not just about making the best out of where you are. It's also about understanding that in the present moment is the only place where you really have influence. So if you're not fully engaged in your present moment, then you're also not necessarily getting the impulses and intuitive hits that you need. And you're also not seeing the synchronicities and confirmation that you need from your spirit team that's telling you, yes, go this direction, or because it's not just about what's happening in you. It's about what needs to be rearranged around you as well. You have the right to feel comfortable in yourself and in, so if any of this, let's say, pressure is external, because I feel that frustration may be coming from externally, people constantly asking you, so how's this going? How's that going? And some people find that just as nice small talk, but there is a point of co-creation and manifestation where you do, and then you just let it be, and talking it to death is actually not doing anyone any service. So most of the time, people who ask you continuously to talk about the projects that you're working on, they don't necessarily have a handle on how that co-creative process actually works. So you have a right for your joy, and they're saying to take rest, to have time out, and not constantly be thinking of, I need to be successful, I need to do this to get success, or not to be constantly working on building something. Sometimes you need to lay a brick and then let the weight settle, if that makes sense. Yeah. I'm going for the Oracle of the Roses now. Oh, look, see, it flew exactly where it needed to go. See, I can't choreograph these things because I was looking at the We Are Nature card, and they haven't fully revealed to me what that part of the reading is saying. But you have the Hero, Modern Garden Rose, Sunburst Rose. The Hero is a continuation of this keep going card. Don't forget to take your rest as needed, drink a lot of water, make sure you're eating properly. Saying no when you need to say no as well. And so they're taking me back to the We Are Nature card here and the Hero together, saying that your great imagination, it's very, it's more than possible. It's destined to be grounded in reality. All of this visionary kind of ideas or that you have, or visionary energy that you have. And it may not, once again, I'm also getting this sensation that you don't necessarily see yourself in that light, like you're doing anything spectacular. And it's not, it only needs to feel spectacular to you. This is the surrender to joy moment. It only needs to feel spectacular to you. And they say that whether or not you actually know or see yourself in comparison as having an idea that is spectacular or a plan, that you're meant to be a leader and lead dreams into form. So, this is an interesting energy here. Basically, I'm in the month of June. It is a full embodiment of the reality that you want to live, regardless of what else is going on around you. So they want this, whatever you're working on, whatever you're working towards, feels like a major change in how your day-to-day plays out. And in order to keep that change moving It's not about doing. It's also about kind of sitting and soaking up that energy and kind of finding tokens of that energy in the life that you have now. And they're like pointing me to also your physical belongings. So if you haven't decluttered yet, you should be. And if you are saving a certain shirt, pant, jacket, whatever item of clothing for a special occasion there that has never seemed to come up to now, especially if you had it in your closet for a while, they want you to wear the things that make you feel like the person you are becoming, because you're already that person. It just hasn't, you're that person in another dimension, right? Or on another level, but it's not grounded into your reality yet in your day-to-day, and how you eat, how you speak to people, how you spend your time, what you wear, things like this. So that joy should be, especially Taurus is about luxury, groundedness, home, feeling of home, comfort. It's especially important for you in June to start making your home and your belongings and your physical things reflect that which you want, or that which you're working towards, that which you are already. So let's see. We have the Ace of Wands. We have the Nine of Wands. Page of Wands. Wow, you got a lot of wands. And one more. Two more. There we go. The Moon in reverse. And the Seven of Cups. Okay. Doing. In the first half of your reading, all of these wands together, I'm just going to put the Page of Wands in the center, because there's the energy of, yes, as I said, the you that you already are being grounded like on other, the you that you already are on other levels becoming grounded in reality and showing up in all of your physical reality. Ace of Wands, new way of doing things, a new tool at your disposal to execute or to create with. And I see in June, something is going to come into your sphere, into your awareness, a power that you weren't aware that you have, for example, or you're going to realize that there's other ways to go about things. And the Nine of Wands here with, I believe her name is, is it Vasilessa? Pardon me if you know the fable and I'm massacring the name, but this doll is her inner awareness, her intuition. And I'm feeling that this card is coming to you because there's a lot of people who want to talk you out of or toxic you out of going up, listening to your inner voice, and going ahead without their blessing may be a challenge for you in the month of June. But this is exactly why what you have, I love that you, like, these are so close together. What you have been, I feel like some of your authentic self and your authentic dreams have been buried, and the Moon in reverse is saying, unearth these things, unearth it. Because the Seven of Cups is, you have so many more options available to you for fulfillment and to execute, to make your dreams into a reality. But that can't happen if you're not acknowledging what it is that you want to yourself. And that can't happen if your environment around you does not support the more subtle needs of your vibration. I'm just saying, like, it's just going without me actually thinking about it. So I do hope that it's making sense. I always try to let my rational mind step out of the way, although we do, me and the divine team, need my rational mind to put the words in the right order, because it's not like English is their first language. Anyway, this is interesting. I'm shuffling the surrender cards. I'm getting a couple extra ones for you, Taurus North Node. And you got much of the same that have already come out today. So maybe there's a group of you kind of going on the same path here. First, we have surrender to the wisdom of your body. Listen to your body's messages about a person or situation. If you feel physically drained or uncomfortable, be cautious. If you are energized and happy, move forward. And this is coming by the Nine of Wands with all of these skulls on sticks that seem to want to talk you out of and burden you. I feel like people are giving you all these reasons why you can't do what you want to do. And for some of you, this is a huge idea, like a huge life change. But for some of you, it's also just like you knowing what you need to feel happy in your home, and people saying that you should settle for less, or because that's not realistic or whatever. That it is completely within your right. You have a right to your joy, peace, and sweetness of life. So they're giving me the example of, like, a wife who has a husband who doesn't clean, and the other wives saying, "Oh, you just have to tolerate it because men don't like to clean." You don't have to. Like, that's the point. Because and this is like, excuse me for doing some type of stereotypical gender role, but so it could be any partnership. If your partner cares about your comfort, if you have to compromise your comfort so as not to nag them, then there can also, the flip side is, why can't they compromise their feeling of being nagged so that you guys can comfortably live together, so that you can feel like you're not being taken for granted. So it goes both ways, and you are perfectly within your right to ask for those things that make you feel balanced. Surrender procrastination. Now is the time to jump on a goal instead of putting it off. Taking action will attract success. And surrender denial. Accept people and situations exactly as they are without denying the difficulties. Then you can see things clearly and make the best decisions. I think that wraps things up very nicely. We'll keep going the path that you're going, and if things don't feel right to you, make sure that you are acknowledging them and not denying yourself what you need to feel good in the process, whether that means distancing yourself from people, taking time to yourself, or telling somebody that, expressing your truth or your boundaries. Yes, that is all I have for you for the month of June, Taurus North Node. See you next time. Take care, be well, and stay blessed. Hello, Scorpio North Node. Welcome to your reading for June 2022. Your short update. So let's go to, wrong deck. So let's We're going to use the Rose Oracle by Rebecca Campbell first. Scorpio North Node. What does Scorpio North Node need to know for June 2022? Okay. The Fertile Void. Inner Winter. Rest, patience, potency, secret beginnings. The Return, a new story. You decide, alignment, it's coming together. And, uh-oh. Okay, there we go. Healing the Motherline, healing ancestral work, Motherline, growing up. And the Mystic Rose, compassion, devotion, humility, humanity, and grace. What's really interesting here is that your spread has like nothing to do with Taurus North Node spread, which usually, as if you've been around my readings for a while, you know that I always say the signs tend to mirror each other. In this case, it has not. At the bottom of the deck, you have the Anointed, Answer the Call, Leadership, Empowerment, and Soul Gifts. I get in June, you may not be coming out of the cocoon yet if you were in the cocoon, or if you're hoping that you'll be ready for the great reveal. It seems that you are not quite there. And the reason why you're not quite there is because there's still something that needs to be healed. So if you end up going out into the world with this unhealed, you're going to end up getting more of the same. This is why the Return, a new story. You decide, alignment, it's coming together. It's time for you to be aware of how you talk and describe yourself in certain situations. They're also saying about stating your intentions and your dreams. When you talk about it, and you may be talking about it with too many people, when you talk about the things that you would like to accomplish, whether it's, fashion design, losing weight, or buying a house, if you talk about it as if there's doubt and you allow, or you're even talking about it to people who you know are going to say, well, that's not realistic, or because they did things in a, let's say, well-trodden path kind of way, then you need to start being aware of that, because I'm getting from here that there's some seeking of external validation that you're not getting, or you make yourself vulnerable. You're disempowering yourself by looking outside yourself for certain confirmation, validation. Is this a good idea? Do you think I should do this? This is sometimes it's good to ask for help. Sometimes it's between you and your guides, and that's about it. And sometimes you really need to sit with yourself and ask yourself if asking other people to soothe your self-doubt is the best way to deal with your self-doubt. With the humility and the humanity grace card I'm getting, you may have too high, not high expectations, strict expectations, things having to happen in a certain way, and certain signs of success or wealth. And if you don't have that, then you are hard on yourself. Surrender to joy. You don't have to get things because it makes you look happy and successful. You should have the things that make you happy and feel successful in your own right, right? So for some, that may be certain freedoms. For some, that may be possessions. If you have your Taurus, Scorpio North Node has this Taurus South Node, which means that that you have lingering, let's say, definitions of worth and success connected to your physical manifestations and physical belongings and things like this. Fine. Who doesn't want to be comfortable in the physical realm? We all do. This is about, though, embracing yourself fully in the void. It's like, who are you when you are nothing? And when they say, so they're saying nothing in the 3D realm is not nothing in, the higher realms. Or the more etheric realms. The void is the place where all things are possible. And in the void as well, all you are is love and light. And can you embrace that first and foremost? Because everything else is just a projection of what you have created in the void. And so they'll keep bringing you back to the void until you've done that. Healing the mother line, I'm just going to kind of let that resonate as it is. Mothering yourself, because what is the mother as well? It's supposed to be unconditional love. Sorry to use the word it, but the idea, the archetype of the mother. Caring, nurturing, loving you no matter what you do. In all cases, when they say a face that only a mother can love, for example, it's because the intimacy, the connection, the energetic connection between mother and child is so strong. Then the idea of mother is about a love that's unyielding. And the question is, do you have that for yourself? And even if, so regardless of how your mother is in real life, do you have your inner mother cradling your inner child? So that you're not going and looking outside of yourself for that. You got 3 cards from the Oracle of the Roses. The first one was the Rose Oracle. This is the Oracle of the Roses. You got the Gardener, the Creator, and the Knight. You're still planting in June. There's still work to be done with planting and creating your future. And being willing to be the person who ushers in the next phase of your life and not waiting for something else to happen or someone to usher that in for you. There's a need to empower yourself. I'm just getting the tarot quickly because it just feels like it just wants to keep moving forward. And they want kind of a tarot for each of. So the Gardener got the 4 of Swords. So all of this is going together here. You have your fertile void, you have the Gardener, and you have the 4 of Swords, which all feels to me like there's still, as I said, there's still more work to be done, internal work. 4 of Swords is about rest as well. It's about looking inside of yourself for things that are still, that you're still beating yourself up about. And the Gardener also has to pull weeds. You also have to pull those weeds. In the center here, you have the Creator, and what came next? The Ace of Wands. As I said, don't give away your power. Don't give away, other people are always going to look at what you're doing or what you have or don't have and make a judgment as to whether or not you are successful or not, or whether they want what you have. And some people are just jealous. They also don't forget that. And not all people out there are going to judge your success based on material things, but I'm feeling in this reading that you may have some of those in your ear more than you recognize, or you may recognize it very clearly, but don't know how to move out of that realm of people. And that is where the Knight comes in with the Magician. I feel like a new story. You decide alignment, it's coming together. You have got to be the one who makes, you have to be willing to stand alone in your belief for whatever you need to build out of here. Some of you need to take the time to actually reflect on your joy and put some dreams in that void. But you have the potential in June to rewrite your story completely. You should take the time to do it. And if you are around people who don't allow you to rewrite your story, then they need to be written out of your script. This is fine. It's all of time. I mean, to me, the guides brought me to using these two decks that are about roses. They're beautiful flowers, but they have thorns, right? So they protect themselves. They come in many, many varieties. I don't really know that much about roses, but I feel like the gardening aspect of these decks was meant for June, because we're starting to see the fruits of our labor. We're starting to see what has been planted over this long, also over the pandemic times, as we slowly move to a new phase and start coming out of our homes. What has our new perspective on life what is it manifesting, and do we like what we see? And if we don't, it's time to, weed. And for you, Scorpio North Node, I'm getting that a lot of you are maybe not as intentional in your manifestation and in your dreams of what you want. And they say if you don't know exactly what you want to manifest as of now, then at least manifest the healing of your past. That's a good way to use your energy in June. So what do we have from your... I drew a couple of extra surrender cards to end your update. Surrender to receiving support and love. Allow the love and support of others in, rather than trying to handle everything yourself. This can take the pressure off and simultaneously nurture you. Surrender to trust. Trust yourself and your decisions. Don't be swayed by other people's strong opinions about what you do. Take action and be confident that you have chosen the right path. So I don't think I need to say anything else about that. I think that closed it just perfectly. So Scorpio North Node, it was a pleasure as always, and I will see you again. I wish you a wonderful month of June. Until next time, take care, be well, and stay blessed. Bye for now. Hello, Gemini North Node. Welcome to your update for June 2022. We're going to pull some cards from the Rose Oracle to start off your reading. The child within, inner mother, innocence, gentleness, tenderness. The mystic rose, compassion, devotion, humility, humanity, and grace. The anointed, answer the call, leadership, empowerment, soul gifts. I think I want that card on top. We'll see. No, I want it down there. Okay, and the return, a new story, you decide, alignment, it's coming together. Interesting. We're at Gemini, North Node, yes. So Gemini, and at the bottom of the deck you have come to me, attracting like a rose, receive abundance, desires. So what I'm getting for you, Gemini, North Node, is June is going to be a wonderful time for letting your vulnerabilities be your strengths. You get to decide whether your vulnerability is a strength or a weakness, and the guides would like you to see it as a strength and defend it from anyone who sees it as a weakness, because actually that which I'm getting that you're most criticized about, or that you're most critical of yourself about, is also exactly like a secret weapon of sorts. Secret to even possibly yourself. There's something in your wound that is like the key to your future development. Keep your temper in check this month. Like breathe before getting into dramas. Why they say this is because feel your energy being manipulated by toxic people. And you have to understand that toxic people are also people that you can kind of feel sorry for and give compassion to, because they are also making themselves miserable, let alone the other people around them. So separating yourself from that will be important to your peace of mind in June. And now this person or people does not have to be the reason why you get annoyed. They can just be an annoying person that you say, that's why I don't really spend a lot of time with them, because they don't know how to be in their joy. And there are miserable people in the world, and we hope that they find their joy as well. But, everyone is on their own journey or their own phase of learning, and they may not be there yet. So I'm getting I'm getting the energy of one person. This person may not be someone that you could really cut off, but you can certainly retell the story of you and that person's relationship. So this could be a close friend, a parent, a family member, someone that you are somehow connected to, and it feels like you can't sever that connection. And they're saying if you are around people that you constantly feel you need to you can't be vulnerable around, that's a sign that you really shouldn't spend too much time with them. The next card we got two. We have the Hero, Modern Garden Rose, and the Pioneer Wild Rose. And 36 and 13. 13 times 3 is 36. So the Hero and the Pioneer together, and also them being kind of intertwined with the power of 3. You need to, in June, you should be a leader. You are a leader. The Pioneer is also like an adventurer, but not a reckless adventurer. So, first of all, as I said, don't lose your temper this month. Don't get dragged into other people's drama. And also, don't take unnecessary risks. So, and think about the steps that you're taking. So that doesn't mean you can't make a dramatic decision or a drastic change in your life, like moving or changing jobs, but it should be well thought out. Balance your pros and cons, and don't sacrifice, like don't change for the sake of changing because you don't know how else to improve the situation of where you are now that could be uncomfortable. Move because you've contemplated move because it's strategic, put it that way. Move because it's strategic. And so there is a little bit of an energy of pulling back from yes, consider joy, but pull back from being emotional in your decision making. And that's more to say, don't make a drastic decision because you're ticked off, right? And try not to take a stand on something that you can't reverse later, and you're doing it from a place of, wanting to win an argument, for example, or wanting to hurt someone's feelings. These are not good places for you to act from. It's never a good place to act from. But for you, Gemini North Node in June, it's particularly important that you don't act from an angry place. Your soul gifts are ready to be revealed, and so they're giving me examples of, when stuff happens throughout the day, for example, and you have a choice of how to deal with it. So if you miss a bus, right, it could ruin your whole day. Some people think, oh, and I missed the bus. And then usually once you get pissed off about missing the bus, something else goes wrong because you're already walking around vibrating like in an annoyed state, and that my whole day is crap now. So the universe will give you a crappy day, right? Now, that doesn't mean that if you get into a totally positive mood about missing the bus and, that there's not going to be other challenges in your day. However, there's less of a chance of your whole day being crappy. You know what I'm saying? So you have to change the way you tell certain stories about challenges that are going on around you. And I get a feeling that people are trying to draw you into toxicity because they see that you're a pure soul, pure-hearted person. And that doesn't mean we never piss anyone off or we never swear or whatever. But at your core, I feel that there's the child within is a very pure-hearted, gentle soul that over time may have need to be covered up because there are people who take advantage of that. And I see, Gemini North Node, that you have some people who take advantage of that. Or seek to, which has you and you kind of have to sink to their level in order to battle them. So this month, the month of June, is about you not sinking to their level to battle them. You're actually just like rewriting the script where they're not even the enemy. They're not even a main character, right? They're like someone that you pass at a bus stop. I don't know why the bus keeps coming to mind today. or they're a waitress at a cafe. Like they're a minor character, if even that, right? They're background actor. They're a background actor, right? So you can rewrite the story to make that person the background actor. Your tarot, you have the Devil, the Two of Wands. So this to me is, there's a shadow. There's a tendency to want to have a forked tongue, a double tongue, to curse and to get angry and to have your angry verified and validated. Your anger verified and validated. But the Two of Wands is saying that it's time for you to choose which way you are going to go. It's time to make a choice. And every time you think of this person or situation, every time you have the opportunity, you will have to make that choice. Which light am I going to tell this story in? The Page of Coins, the Four of Wands, and the Nine of Swords. The Page of Coins, I feel that you do have this gift that is coming. You have a gift that is coming. And it may be, I feel like you may also have a new perspective on life. But you also may unexpectedly come into some money. Okay, that was very specific. Someone coming into some money and wants to use it to create like more happiness in their home life. But there may be someone who wants to guilt you into using that money for another purpose, or will guilt you for using that money for yourself and for your own benefit than giving to them, right? And you may also, because you are a person who considers other people and likes to share. I'm just getting that from here. So if that doesn't apply to you, if you're a meanie, no, I'm joking. But the Nine of Swords is also showing me that there's a self-sacrificing energy here, and they want to remind you that some things the universe does give you for you, and there's no problem with that. If that person or those people don't have a handle on their vibe to know how to attract some good stuff to themselves, you can you can send them well wishes, but you don't have to give them your blessings. Some blessings are just for you. And I do see a blessing coming in the month of June that is abundance related, monetary, physical reality related. I'm going to pull some power of surrender cards to accompany your surrender to joy, Gemini North Node. Okay. Surrender to receiving support and love. Allow the love and support of others in rather than trying to handle everything yourself. This can take the pressure off and simultaneously nurture you. So if you do have some, lean into your good energy people. And I do hope you have some. Surrender your fear of intimacy. You are ready to let love in. Compassionately identify and begin to release any patterns that stop you from opening your heart. Any walls that you have built to protect yourself. So you may encounter some people who are going to help you break those walls down as well, little by little. And they may not be like very significant friendships. It may just be like, maybe it's a customer you serve or someone you bump into, someone who gives you their seat, or I don't know. But I feel like a little bit of restored faith in humanity. And this will help you step into your leadership and recognize one of these wounds, weaknesses, quote, what used to be a weakness, recognize it as a strength. Surrender to non-action. Now is the time to be still and not act. Simply breathe and focus on your own power. Let others come to you. Yeah, everyone's problems are not your problems. That's where I got with that. Everyone's problems are not your problems. You have to stay in your peaceful corner. And it's okay to not be able to and not see it as your responsibility to care for or to help people out of their self-created drama. You can always send good intentions to them. You don't have to sacrifice yourself in those situations. All right, Gemini North Node, that is what I have for you for June 2022. I wish you all the best. And until next time, take care, be well, and stay blessed. Bye for now. Hello, Sagittarius North Node. Welcome to your reading for June 2022. I am shuffling the Oracle of the Roses. No. I'm not shuffling the Oracle of the Roses. I'm shuffling the Rose Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. And the next deck I shuffle is the Oracle of the Roses. So we have a lot of plant, rose energy in this reading. Today, so we'll get 4. Okay, there we go. Interesting. I usually get 4 cards, but we got 5 this time. So you have the reunion, soul recognition, collaboration, partnership, friendship. The bud, potential, promise, it's about to happen, keep going. The rose of Venus, alignment, flow, right relationship, and harmony. And then we have the second bloom, a second chance is never too late, new possibilities, and lineage of the rose, moved by the goddess, here for this soul call and gather. All right. June is going to be about relationships for you, Sagittarius North Node. There could be a great reflection of like your love relationships. Maybe there is someone you want to call back in. And some of this, it may not be, it's not all romantic energy. I'm also feeling as the reunion is about friendship as well. So, and sometimes when we come across people who are kind of in our soul family, on our, in our soul tribe, and they are the gender or that we are attracted to, right? Then it may feel like the intimacy is so strong that it should be a sexual relationship, and it may have been a sexual relationship that didn't, I don't want to say it didn't need to be one, but it wasn't meant to be just that. And there was more to the story, because here I see a lot of souls coming together. But the second bloom is also about, your time. If you think you're too old for something, or that your time has passed for something, for a certain step in your career, for, I don't know, obtaining property, for traveling, for showing me someone singing, a dream career, let's say, or pursuing a passion. It's not. June is a time of a time of promise. It says down here, it's a time of promise. It's about to happen. Keep going. All of the things that you thought may are long gone in terms of their possibility to happen, they can very much happen, and they will happen. Will they happen in June? Not necessarily feeling that it's going to happen in June. I'm feeling that some of the reasons why it hasn't happened as of yet, or that this second time around, has to do with I'm getting that, or they're saying it to me quite plainly. There was something about this next phase in your life that required a different perspective or different energy of the divine feminine, an amplification of the divine feminine. So it may have been, however far we still need to go, there is definitely progress in the reverence of the divine feminine. And just like, for example, there was a time when interracial couples would have to worry about their personal safety, and same-sex couples, for example, there's something that is coming up in your soul to be pursued and to blossom, that in the past, in the time frame that you think that it should have happened, couldn't have happened, not just because of your life situation, but almost because of the vibration of the whole planet. Especially, for sure, the vibration of where you were living at the time. So maybe you're now also living somewhere where it's more possible. But this is like you are now being held in this womb of possibility, where you're also going to meet other souls. Some of them you've met already, and they're just going to come back to your sphere. Alignment, flow, right relationship, and harmony. You're going to have, because this is what I saw. I was seeing, as I was talking, I was seeing this in my mind's eye, the Fibonacci, and all of the pieces are going to start to come together in June. This is the time of the pieces coming together. From the Oracle of the Roses, you got card number 14, the Loner Wild Rose. Expect a total reorganization of your friend circle. And they're encouraging you to let it happen, because some of the people that you are with are trying to drag you backwards to what seems like a comfort zone place, but really, like, that's already done, over, and dead. Like, if you go back there, you're going to not find the same comfort that you found before. Like, whatever, this could be an addiction, this could be a lifestyle choice, it could be whatever. And it could be a bar, or a club that you belong to or something. But I'm getting more something around like a lifestyle and a way of thinking. And there are people who are just not ready to take that step forward, or who are still in a different place. And that's completely fine. But it's about you being willing to take the next steps alone, even if that means that you will be alone between when you leave this set of people and find this set of people that are, there they are. There's some of them. And then there's the other, and there's some of them here, right? The reunion. Because the issue is that on a metaphysical level, you being around people who are not vibrating with you anymore, not aligned with you anymore, is also obscuring you. Their energy is obscuring you from view from your soul tribe. And I'm using this all metaphorically, like, you know, it's just the vibes going out and seeking like vibes or aligned vibes, and they can't get to you or recognize you because you're behind a bunch of unaligned things, right? So there's always that moment when you step out of one space and into the next where it's like you are neither here nor there. And I feel that June is kind of a month where you'll be neither here nor there, but for a very good purpose. And we're hoping that that place has a nice vibe so that you don't get frustrated in this space in between. But this is the surrender to joy. I'm getting that a lot is happening behind the scenes that you don't. So your main thing is just to keep going, to keep positive and not be swayed, especially if you're somewhere where it's summer. And last summer, or the last summer where you were free to roam and go out places and gather, you had a certain lifestyle. It's been 2 years. You know, you can be a changed person and realize that certain things like you just don't need and your priorities have changed. And that can feel like a lonely place because the things that you are used to doing or that your group of friends do are not necessarily aligned with you anymore. So let's look at the tarot and see what else is coming from there. So we have the Strength card, the Empress, a lot of divine feminine energy in this, and the Five of Cups. I feel like you need 2 more. Yeah. The Three of Swords and the World. Okay, they want me to line these up differently, and I shall. Okay, so the Strength card is telling me it's going to take a little bit of resolve on your end, not to just go to the easy place, the easy way of being. Because if you really do evaluate whether or not you feel joy and fulfilled in this situation or in the they're saying your old life, does your old life really satisfy you? And that doesn't mean that you have to regret anything that happened in the past or go back and, why did I ever do that? It served its purpose in the time that it served its purpose, whether it was for a life lesson, whether it was comforting at the time. It is what it is. Next is the strength to say, this does not serve me. This does not serve me. And the Empress is telling me that and she got a lot of flowers around her too. It's time to be sovereign, like in your heart's truth. Now, you may be around people. I'm feeling also a toxic masculinity. I know we never talk about toxic femininity. That is a topic for another day or maybe an article. But in this, I'm feeling toxic masculinity. So I'm feeling that because toxic masculinity is one of those things that is like the source of, let's say, taunting people for being emotional or for being compassionate and showing humanity, or, you know, being soft, the insult of being, oh, you're such a girl, or something like that. So if you're a dude whose surroundings are, okay, sorry, they wanted me to say it another way, has nothing to do with whether or not you're a dude. If you are a person who is surrounded by people who do not value intuition or acting from the heart and think it's like soft, weak, or laughable, then you need to, these are exactly the tribe that you need to step away from, because you cannot exist without both. We all have both. You need your rational mind and you need your emotion as well, and your intuition. You need your heart, your soul, and your mind. The Five of Cups is, you may be coming with the loner. People to let go of, but there's people and situations to let go of, but there's new in the background already. The Three of Swords is telling me that there may be some heartbreak along the way. It may hurt a little. And you may have to investigate in yourself why you don't want better surroundings for yourself, or why you've tolerated less than joy up to now. And last but not least, the World card is just, a chapter that is definitely coming to an end. So do not resist this ending. Even if you're still like really caught between two worlds, just keep going. Just keep going to what makes you feel good. That is your barometer. That is your indication of whether or not what you're doing is in alignment with your highest self. So I pulled a couple of surrender cards for you specifically. Sagittarius North Node, we have surrender to inner peace. Cultivate inner peace on a daily basis. In quiet, meditative moments, focus on the stillness within and enjoy this inner refuge. Others will feel your good vibes too, and your life will flow more easily. Yeah, do what makes you feel good inside and surrender the drama. Oh, I love that for you. No matter how emotionally charged the situation, remain calm and don't contribute to the drama. Staying centered will help resolve the issue more quickly. And that's it for you, Sagittarius North Node. I hope that resonated with you, and I will see you next month. Until then, take care, be well, and stay blessed. Bye for now. Hello, Cancer North Node. Welcome to your reading for June 2022. I'm going to start by pulling some cards from the Rose Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. Healing is happening. You are not broken. Trust the process. It's safe to soften. Cancer North Node. Open. Say yes. Expand through the extremes. Trust life. The grandmothers. Remember your roots. Perspective. Trust the weavings. And one more. The reunion, soul recognition, collaboration, partnership, friendship. I feel like there's another one, and it may just be the next one. Morning dew, clarity, a fresh start, a positive outlook. Okay. You can see everything. We can see everything. Bottom of the deck, you have the sun, joy, more joy, enjoyment, life force, success, vitality, and play. Put that a little further. There you go. So, Cancer North Node, I'm getting that, yes, so June is a healing process for you. You'll have interesting. I feel like you're going to have many opportunities to kind of exert a new way of being. And these may feel, with the expand through extremes, I feel like you're going to have really, really good experiences. I don't classify it as good or bad, but you'll have moments where you could be very, very open, and you have moments where you can be open about your boundaries, right? So, but whatever the case, it's a very clear and authentic response from you. With the grandmothers, there's a lot of ancestral support coming through in this process, because you seem to be, emerging as the morning dew, clarity, a fresh start, positive outlook, emerging as a new being, even someone that may be difficult for you to recognize at first. And they keep pulling me back to you're not broken. I'm getting that this healing is not, if you think that, I'm going to be different than how I was, it's not necessarily that. You will utilize your traits and characteristics in a way that is more beneficial to you. And therefore will also end up being beneficial to others. And the reunion is being open is also what's going to bring you in this reunion with other souls that recognize you for your true nature. And a fresh start is saying, like, you need to give the world a chance again, because you have trust life here. You need to give the world a chance. Forgiveness. You have to forgive that which the world has. They're saying very specifically, you have to forgive that which the world took from you in the past or has taken from you, and trust that the future will be different, has the infinite potential to be different, and to be whatever it is you want it to be. So surrender to joy. They're bringing me back to have fun in the month of June, because doing things that bring you fun, joy, that bring you around people, even if you go with like one trusted person, or you only show up to, I don't know, some type of networking picnic or something, even if you stop by for an hour, the point is you're putting yourself into situations where you're learning how to be around people in your new self. You are opening the opportunities for this reunion. Like, you don't know where you're going to meet those people, and you may not meet them in June, but there's an energy of you needing to kind of practice that in June. You have the Challenger, Scotch Rose, Wild Rose here, and the Center from the Oracle of the Roses. I'm just looking at this picture of the Challenger, and it's like, look at all these thorns. Look at all these prickly bits. Prickly, prickly, prickly. There's a lesson coming in, and then here you have the loner on the bottom of the deck. And I just said, like, you need to get outside. So the loner is kind of I have a feeling that there's, with these situations, expand through the extremes and the challenger coming in the center, and yet the reunion card coming. It's like discernment, learning discernment with people is going to be a major lesson in June. And that is well supported by your ancestors. They're supporting your growth. They also want you to start seeing the world in a different way, which is why, as much as you going out and being challenged and facing challenging personalities and, people with varying opinions, it may make you want to, stay home and hang out with your tarot cards. But there is value. There's definitely value in going through this lesson now and not later. Because it feels like later in the year, there's going to be some big opportunities for you that really depends on you showing the content of your character and being trusted for being a leader, for example. And if you are easily triggered, let's say, then, right, you may not be seen as the type of leader or the type of worker, the type of person that you want to be or that you are, right? But you still have some sensitive bits that people can tend to poke at, or they may not poke at it intentionally, but just something about them pokes something in you, and you don't necessarily have you have not yet strategized how to deal with those situations. And so June is a time when you're going to be going through those type of lessons. You have the 8 of Wands in reverse, the 5 of Swords, the 9 of Coins in the center, okay, the Hermit, and the Sun. Eight of Wands, please unburden yourself. And June doesn't feel all of this energy of opportunity that I feel coming for you, and you're kind of in a training ground for something that's going to come later in the year. And the 8 of Wands is purposely, sorry, my mic is falling, 1 second. Okay. The universe is purposely slowing you down because there are things that you need to consider. There's still healing in your vibration. There's still healing that is happening. But the 9 of Coins is like at the center of everything. And look, the watermelon, because of all of its seeds, it's a sign of abundance, right? And your watermelon, your seeds of abundance depend on kind of on this June period. And I'm getting these two, number 9 and number 19. the Hermit and the Sun as a, because look, we have the Hermit and we have the Sun, which are basically like, you know, here's the loner, dark on his own, contemplating. Here is someone who's out shining, getting, you know, in the spotlight, lots of attention, extroverted, introverted energy, extroverted energy. And in the middle, you have this open card. Say yes, expand through the extremes, trust life. So that doesn't mean that you should not take time for yourself. But you need both in the month of June. You need the joyous time on your own, and you need to get out and be amongst the public. And for better or for worse, every encounter, they want you to remember that every encounter that happens in the month of June has a lesson for you in it. So even if you say, why did I go to that party and talk to that person? And I got stuck talking to them the whole night and didn't meet anyone else. That is a lesson for, so how do you politely end a conversation? You know, if you're going to be a business person or the leader of something or the face of something, and a lot of people want to talk to you, how do you make sure that you can make sure that people feel that you are adequately attentive and interested, but you also have it in the back of your mind that you need to talk to a lot of people, so you can't stand up and talk to any one person for hours, right? So those type of things. There's going to be, a lot of lessons through outdoor interactions, but don't worry, do schedule in time to hang out with yourself, journal with yourself, Netflix and chill, or Amazon Prime, whatever it is you use, or read a book. Having that balance is important for you in the month of June. And your guide, everybody's guide is joy at this time. So you don't necessarily... Wait, one last thing. So they're saying sometimes you're going to have to push yourself to go out, and you won't necessarily feel joy about going out. However, if you're not going out, your signal is, if you're not going out because you're fearing interaction or you're avoiding interaction, then convince yourself to go out, right? If it's really like, okay, I went out 2 days in a row now and I just want to stay home and have dinner with my cat, cool. That's fine. But don't not go out of fear. You have to learn how to recognize when you are being, oh, look, there you go. Surrender stubbornness. You have to recognize when you're being stubborn and not wanting to get out of a comfort zone, and when you're actually, would just get more joy out of being at home. I'm going to get one more. Oh, two more. Okay. Because they got stuck in my hand. So we have surrender stubbornness. If you're tensing up or taking a rigid stance about something, gently observe yourself and become more yielding. This will help you communicate more lovingly with others and yourself. Yeah, you're being stubborn about something also in your healing process. That's something to look at. Surrender to inner peace. Cultivate inner peace on a daily basis. In quiet meditative moments, focus on the stillness within and enjoy this inner refuge. Others will feel your good vibes too, and your life will flow more easily. And then lastly, surrender to miracles. Be open to miracles occurring in your life. Feel and know that these events are real. Let go of any resistance and banish any doubt that miracles can happen. Yeah, but you got to go outside. You have to go outside and stay inside. So you have to find that balance. If you're completely extroverted and you busy yourself all the time too, this is also a good month to sometimes spend time with yourself. So, Cancer North Node, that is your reading. I will see you next time. Until then, take care. Be well and stay blessed. Bye for now. Hello, Capricorn North Node. Welcome to your reading for June 2022, your little North Node update. So I'm going to use the Rose Oracle by Rebecca Campbell to start. We're going to pull 4 cards from here. So this has been going well so far. I'm a little bit, okay. Just letting it flow, as I said, I didn't plan anything but the decks before I sat down here. So, your first card, we have the Great Mother. Surrender to the mystery, fall into her arms. There we go. Then the Reunion. A lot of the Reunion cards been coming out quite a bit. Soul recognition, collaboration, partnership, friendship. Mother Rose, returning to each other, compassion and humanity. And Sub Rosa, hidden in plain sight, mysteries, learning, and teaching. So for the month of June, I feel you have the word mystery, twice. Mysteries and mystery in here. And mother twice. Here and here. And then returning to each other and the reunion. It's it's pretty. So I feel that the month of June, you will be finding your way. I feel you're finding your way back to yourself. And that includes perhaps repairing some relationships that you've had or that have kind of fallen to the wayside. Perhaps things that have fallen apart during the pandemic. And I feel like June is going to be a time when you get to reconnect with some of the maybe groups that weren't able to gather, maybe your church's opening or your community center or your running group, something like this. I feel that returning to each other, compassion and humanity, I feel it's coming together with groups that were not able to come together in the past while. And also, it could be a field that some of you will be rekindling friendships and relationships. This learning and teaching, I feel like learning hidden in plain sight. You may find a very wise and a very good friend that is like right there, or a very good mentor. Someone that you can have very good exchanges with is right there in front of you. And I feel that this is like, it may not even end up being like really a friendship as much as it's like this, like a kinship, I guess is the word I'm looking for, or I don't know how to put it, because they're showing me someone. I used to work in a store, and there's this lady who used to come in, and actually, well, she only came in once, but she came in once, but and she didn't buy anything, but we talked a lot about spirituality. And they're showing me this because they're saying that you are going to, in June, have a lot of kind of random encounters that will be enriching and kind of thought-provoking, if you will. It's going to pepper your world. And those synchronicities and those encounters, they want you to pay attention to, because it's almost like random strangers have contracted, or they are other beings in human bodies who have who are nudging you along a path. And they're coming in because I have the feeling that you may have, you didn't lose your way. You needed a detour to deal with something. And now they are bringing you back to to the main road. I'm going to leave that thought there and go to, the Artist, number 23. Rubens Rose. The artist is dedicated to creating what their vision is and not being pulled okay, they're taking me to one of the things that I often say amongst my peers. There's a difference between arts and entertainment, right? That's why it's called, arts and entertainment, because yes, art can be entertaining, but creating art for the purpose of entertainment is a specific line or a specific form of art, right? Pop music is for a reason. It has certain, it tends to certain keys for a reason, because the populace reacts to those particular tones and to that rhythm in a certain way. And so when you're creating music for the purpose of popularity and entertainment and popularity, you tend to different formulas. You're already editing yourself, put it that way. You're already editing yourself. The artist, in this case, is saying, don't edit yourself for the purpose of fitting in with anything around you. The mother is plunging you into this mystery so that what you create is the call that brings you to where you're supposed to be. If you are not, so once you create with a different intention, then the vibration of what you create will be different, right? That is not to say that art or entertainment is, one is better than the other. It's about, once it's out, what does it do? And with what intention did you make it, right? And this artist card is saying, pay attention to your intuition, because your intuition is coming directly from the womb, the cosmic womb, the womb of the universe, which is also, once again, bringing us back to our beginning card. One indication that you are aligned and that you're hearing not your critical self, not your ego self, but the actual inner nagging, I don't want to call it nagging, the inner voice, the prodding of your divine self and its connection to the bigger divine whole, is that you feel joy. So an idea comes to you and it just sweeps you off your feet, and you think about all these details and becomes like, oh, this will be so great, and then this will happen and that will happen. That is a sign that is an idea that you are to flow with, especially if it comes back to you. Does that mean that you're going to be able to create that without challenge because the challenger card is here underneath? No, that does not mean that. However, if you are creating with that intention, with that passion, with that intention to bring forth through the cosmic womb, through yourself into the world, whatever it may be, whether it's arts, a lifestyle, a partner, a business, creation is creation. Whatever that is, it's going to call in the people who will facilitate that, who will help you along the way. And some of those people who help you along the way are people who present you a challenge, because you need to figure that out. You may also need to sharpen some of your communication skills, so you end up with someone who likes to talk over you. You know what I mean? Or there's sometimes some lessons come with a person who is meant to be handled in a compassionate way, with respect and humanity. You can respectfully say, I give you ample time to express your opinions. I would like you to listen to my opinions as well. The only way we can work together is if we're both listening to each other. That's a perfectly reasonable thing to say, right? Okay, next we're going to the tarot. Whoa. Let me do this before I get confused about what goes where. Oh. Okay. I want you to see the bottom of the deck as well. So we have the Sun card, the Hermit, the Ace of Coins, the Ten of Wands, and the Four of Cups in reverse. So with the Sun and the Hermit together, we have the Four of Swords underneath the deck. I'm reading this as you have you need equal amounts of time in the Sun, like in with people, as you need with yourself, in order for this month to really benefit you in the way that it should. So you should try to get a good amount of social time and a good amount of time to yourself. Balance that out. I also have, though, that some of your creations need to come to light. The Ace of Coins is telling me that some of the things that you put out to light, some or one in particular, will spark let's say a chain reaction that will lead to some favorable circumstances later in the year. And something is going to grow out of the destruction of something else. I know that sounds very vague. Something is going to grow out of the destruction of something else. I want to leave it a bit vague for the generalness of this reading, but and they're also saying something is going to grow out of the change of your way of thought, because they're also showing me the skull here, and like showing it's the brain, it's your head, it's what you're thinking. Yeah. And you're going to be changing the way you're doing things. Ha ha ha. Yes. If you feel that you've needed external approval from other people, you always need to bounce your ideas off of other people before you can move forward, then this is the clear signal of that's dead. at least with this project that's coming up. That doesn't mean that will never happen again, but this next phase of your life, what you are creating is very much something that is between you and the Divine Mother. The Four of Cups. In reverse. Beware of becoming restless. You know, everything needs its time to take root and to grow. Find your motivation in your relationship with your intuition. So if things in the material realm are not moving forward as quickly as you would like, there is you can invest energy in planning, for example. That is a very Capricorn thing to do. So Capricorn North Node planning is a good, strategizing is a good way to use your energy. And you can utilize your lovely Cancer South Node attributes to, you know, if you want to ask somebody, is this the right thing to do or should I move forward? That ask your guides, ask your intuition, grab a tarot or an oracle deck and, you know, and a notebook and say, this is my plan. I want to move to this city. I was thinking that these are the things I want to do or that I should do in order to prepare for that. What do you think? You know, what do you think of step one? Shuffle the deck and get a card and read or journal about it, what you got, right? So if you need an external opinion or a second opinion, you could always consult the Divine Mother, your higher self, your guardian angel, all great energies to consult. So I pulled a couple of surrender cards for you. Surrender your fear of intimacy. You are ready to let love in. Compassionately identify and begin to release any patterns that stop you from opening your heart. Surrender your ego. Cultivate gratitude. Be of service to others and come from your heart. A big ego can work against you, but humility will further your goals. This got a big ding 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 when I read that one, especially with the Ace of Coins. Don't be overly egotistical about your creations or your plans, even if they're awesome and you do believe they're awesome, as you should. When you're talking to other people about it, humility, I saw humility instead of humanity, but yeah, being humble is important. Surrender to passion. Get out of your head. Get out of your head and feel the fire in your belly. Focus on the people or activities that ignite your passion and let it flow, which is also here, Four of Cups in reverse, about motivation and bewaring of restlessness. Here I'm getting with the fear of intimacy. Yeah, you want to, sometimes you do have to let people into your ideas. Sometimes you do. Because this Ace of Coins is not going to come about if you don't start talking about some of your real ideas, like the ideas that were made not to please other people, but just like that inner impulse, which was a divine impulse. Trust it. Totally trust that. You know, what the divine gives you, they have an audience for. You don't even have to find it. Like, they know that there's an audience for it. They know that it's needed. Your responsibility is to start with it and then use your intuition and watch the synchronicities to get aligned with the right people in the right places. And that all takes time. I'm going to leave that there and hope that it resonates, like, for more than just the artists, but those who also are just creative in life and want to create something new. I will see you next time. Capricorn North Node, I wish you all the best for the month of June. And until next time, take care, be well, and stay blessed. Bye for now. Hello, Leo North Node. Welcome to your June 2022 North Node update. I'm going to start with the Rose Oracle by Rebecca Campbell and take 4 cards from here. This has been an interesting day for me because I'm actually not really used to 15-minute readings or 20-minute readings. Every time I grab a deck, it's like we could just hang out here for quite some time. But the guides would like me to practice this as well. Being clear and concise, but still in-depth and relevant. It's a good exercise for me. I'm enjoying it actually. I'm ignoring my stomach growling though. I guess I should take a break after you, Leo North Node. So, got your first 4 cards of this lovely spread today. We have the second bloom, a second chance, it's never too late, new possibilities. Come to me, attracting like a rose, receive abundance desires. Brothers of the rose, sacred masculine, honor, protection, and support. The breathing rose, heart healing, emotions, connection, time, eases. All right. Leo North Node. I feel like if you had a past disappointment, I'm going to erase that if. I feel there has been past disappointment that you are still healing from. And that past disappointment may have been also with the second bloom, like the chance at love, the chance at intimacy. Chance at love, chance at intimacy, anything that you felt should have, or back when that situation was happening, you had a lot invested in it. And it didn't turn out the way that you wanted it to turn out. But the universe is reminding you that it didn't turn out that way because there's something bigger. You should use the month of June to believe that everything that you want and desire is possible, and working on attracting it to you. I'm getting like through ritual. And for some of you, I'm getting a big message of like self-care. And that may mean it's more than a spa day kind of thing. It's about what do you need to feel good on a daily basis? What will make you feel good on a daily basis? And can you give yourself something that feels good on a daily basis? And every day it could be something different. And I feel that every day you should look for something that makes you feel kind of like this. You know, whether it is a warm brownie or a walk in the park or because the brothers are here, for my divine masculine out there, maybe you treat yourself to a barbershop shave, because Lord knows barbershops, like when it was closed during the pandemic, I'm sure that a lot of you had to learn how to line yourself up and do your own hair and stuff, women as well. So it's like maybe like those type of things, taking care of your appearance, taking care of your nutrition, showing to the universe that you honor and value yourself brings all of that towards you as well. know that you are protected and revered and supported. And I find it interesting here because these two cards in both, I don't think, let me look at this more closely. So in this one, she's not pregnant here, but she's still holding her center, right? And this one is a pregnant woman. But they're both holding their womb space. And I have a feeling that working on something and investing a lot in something that doesn't come to fruition, it leaves a feeling of emptiness. I send love, light, and blessings to anyone who may have lost a child. Sending you much love and support. Big, big, big hug. So if there's emptiness, a feeling of emptiness is what I'm getting from this line, and for whichever reason that may be. Time eases. June will be a time of easing that feeling of emptiness. And you may feel some divine masculine energy coming in to support that, like cradling, allowing you to be in the vulnerable state where the heart is opening, allowing you to be in a vulnerable state. Because there's something that needs to pass through you. Let me go to the next card. We got two of them. We have the Sage, you want the Pioneer, 13, Prairie Rose, and then the Sage, General Washington Rose. Whatever you're planning to do in your next step requires some planning on your part. And some consulting of, on the bottom of the deck, you have the Challenger, which has been coming up quite a bit as well. Some of you need guidance in your next steps forward. The Sage could be your own guidance. I'm going to check the tarot and see. For some of you, it is your own guidance. You're going to be accessing your own higher self and your own encoded wisdom. But for some of you, especially if you're dealing with a really, like I said, a really traumatic event or a really deep sense of loss, you may want a professional practitioner of sorts, whether that is through the traditional medical field or another tradition. There is the energy of being ushered through the next phase with someone in the earthly realm. And that person will sense your need. The universe will put that person in front of you. So it may be like an ad that you bump into on social media. It may be something, there'll be a synchronicity that brings that person into your sphere. That person can be male or female. They are definitely holding space for your healing, though. because another chance has come around for you to make something come to fruition. One, two, this one is 3, 4. Oh, this is not 4, this is 4, and this is 5. So, okay. We have the 10 of Wands, the 2 of Wands, the 5 of Cups, the Knight of Coins, and the 7 of Cups. Yeah, okay. It's time for you to unburden yourself of something that is stuck in your head, stuck in your vibration, and you have to do that through action, like actual action. Action. You have to go out there and find somebody to help you clear. You may need to do some physical activity on a more regular basis to help also clear your energy field. But definitely all of this that's been plaguing you needs to go. It's time for the next, the second bloom. 2 of Wands. You have a couple of choices of how to move forward. All roads lead to Rome. It's just a matter of how you want to get there. And they're showing me like here is something man-made and here is something from nature. And it may not be an either or. You could utilize tools from both, which could be, one can be like your inner nature plus help someone external from you helping you. It can be, natural medicine paired with modern medicine. It could be science mixed with esoterics. So, be open to some of the options that you have for moving through to your next chance, to your next blooming. The 5 of Cups, there are going to be, you do have to grieve. You do have to make room for grieving. I get the sense that there is some grieving that still needs to be done, some final screaming, some final releasing, some final tears. They're showing me someone burning a notebook. Like, burn all of his stuff or her stuff, whoever's stuff. You could burn that too, safely. but that's a process that needs to happen. And this is where I definitely feel that it's big enough that you don't want to go there alone, because you may need someone to pull you from the depths. The Knight of Coins. And come to me, right? This change is not necessarily, it's not all going to happen in June. This part, I feel, is like, this is kind of June. This is where things are going to lead afterwards. The Knight of Coins is slow and steady wins the race. They're showing me his arrows. Like, pick your target, your long range and your short range targets, and be persistent. Definitely be persistent, and beware of scattering your energy too much and scattering your intentions too much. Be wary of pleasing other people, or entertaining anyone else's opinions of, if they don't think that there's a second chance, then that's their loss. Basically. Just be aware of spreading yourself too thin, and for asking for conflicting things. You need to kind of get clear about what it is you want moving forward. The less is more at this time. Focused intention will get you very far in the month of June. And if you are ready to take that leap, Ooh, if you're ready to take that leap and really deal with whatever situation has happened here, then let that be your intention for the month. I thought I was done, but no. Okay. I want to grab a couple of surrender cards for you. So in addition to the surrender to joy, 1 or 2 cards for Leo North Node for the month of June. What do they need to surrender in this time for their highest good? Just to close the reading here. Surrender to your soul's path. Your life's journey has been perfectly designed for your soul's growth. Embrace every lesson and every moment. That is a note to anybody who's like, I'm not doing this work this month. Let's put it off to another time. Yeah. Now is a good time. There could be other times, but now is a good time as well. And surrender stubbornness. If you're tensing up or taking a rigid stance about something, gently observe yourself and become more yielding. This will help you communicate more lovingly with yourself and with others and yourself. I'm trying to see if they want a last card. Do a quick shuffle because I feel mixed. Yeah, okay, that went flying. So yeah. Surrender to wonder and awe. Open to the magic of every moment and sense the awe and wonder in all of life. This attitude will keep you connected to the ecstasy of flow. Okay. I kind of want this in the center because as much as it kind of goes with this card of attraction and bringing a little magic to every day, every passing day, they want you to like it to be the center. That's the other intention. Right? The intention is to heal this this feeling of emptiness, to heal whatever's in these spilt cups, and to find joy in everyday things. And that's it. Leo North Node, always a pleasure. See you next time for another North Node update. Until then, take care, be well, and stay blessed. Bye for now. Hello, Aquarius North Node. Welcome to your reading for June 2022. I'm going to grab 4 cards from the Rose Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. The Crowning, Initiation, Thresholds, Birth, Rebirth, A Seat at the Table. Healing, the Mother Line, Healing, Ancestral Work, Mother Line, Growing Up. Okay, that's it. The Fertile Void, Inner Winter, Rest, Patience, Potency, Secret Beginnings. And We Are Nature, Becoming Grounded, Embodiment, Living in Connection. I have the feeling that we need one more. I'm trying to see. There's this one. Okay, codes of the seeds. The blueprint is within you. Take the next step. As at the top, at the bottom, at the bottom. Okay. Ooh. Aquarius North Node. None of these cards are what Leo North Node got. That's interesting. That's cool. So, so I find it interesting that you have the crowning, but also the void and the seeds. Ooh, I see the month of June is going to be this card is initiation. You're definitely going to step into someone out there is stepping into like a very spiritual path, very spiritual field. But it's like, it's time, but it's not time. It's like you're still in the oven. You're still in the fertile void. Because however, okay, because where you're reaching in June is not, it's like a milestone, but it's not the destination of the next phase. But it is definitely, in June, you're definitely going to feel a strong, grounded connection to a new way of living and being, to a new way of walking in the world. It may be a new career path. It may be a new... I'm getting a sense it's like it's your whole way of being. And because you're an Aquarius North Node, I am getting that you may be finding yourself more aware of being part of a fabric of a whole. And that new perspective on life changes how you move through the world. But it's like the crowning, what they need you to recognize in the world will be loud and clear to you in June. But that is just like, it's the beginning. It's just the beginning, right? They're saying like when you get accepted to college or university, for example, or you get a promotion from assistant to a manager, it's a major exciting moment. It's like, someone recognized and saw me and I'm so excited. But there's still that whole moment. There's the moment between when you get the news to when you start the new job, for example, or the new school. And then there's all that happens once you're there, right? So June is like getting the news of something. Yeah, someone may be getting news of something amazing happening in their life. But between when you get that news and when you step into it, there's time to ruminate and worry about whether or not you're going to be good enough, which you should not do. But it happens. We all do it. Just don't linger there too long. But they're telling you that this opportunity that you have been given in June is totally within your makeup to be amazing at it, or to survive and thrive in that situation, whatever that may be. That seems to be a step, like a very joyful moment for you. So let whatever this is that comes through as like good news, hang out with that good news feeling for as long as you can. They're even showing me like someone holding a clear quartz crystal and infusing it with all of that energy from that moment. So that excitement that you could always like carry with you in your pocket or consult whenever you're ready. So I pulled from the Oracle of the Roses by Sherilyn Darcy. You have number 11, the Scientist, Memorial Rose, and number 29, the Giver, Adam Rose. The Scientist, please don't overanalyze a good thing. Self-doubt may be something that really rears its ugly head for you in the month of June. And beware, they have not told me yet how these two things go together, but be aware of overgiving. Be mindful of overgiving in the month of June. Now, does that go with the overanalyzing thing? Yeah. Yes, it does. Because when we doubt ourselves, we tend to try to overachieve. We tend to want to overachieve. And they're saying like just being is really enough, because they keep pointing me to this part on the card. I don't know how well you can see it there, but this says growing up on the mother line card. Healing the mother line at the end of it is growing up. It's time for you to not need validation. We all like to have it from time to time, especially from people that we really care about, especially when we've put in hard work, that's for sure. But this is like, don't give of your energy for the sake of feeling or being validated, right? And there's an energy of don't work for the sake of recognition or to prove anything to anybody. You are what you are, which is much more than you are aware of at this moment. We have the Hermit. I'm going to go into it more. It's just the cards keep wanting to come out. The Queen of Swords. The Six of Coins is at the center of your spread. And then the Tower. And Strength. Another card that's been coming out a lot. This is Strength card today. Oh, okay. So I need you to consult what's going on in your inner world on a regular basis. Like you got to do some regular auditing of your inner world via the Hermit. Because there's also the question of whether or not you're taking this next step, this opportunity that comes in front of you, whether it's a relationship, a job, or an apartment, if it really brings you joy, or if it is simply, seems like the thing to do. Now, if it's divinely recognized as the thing to do, like your divine guides say that it's the thing to do, that's different. But I'm getting with the Queen of Swords that it's very important for you to be in tune with your own discernment, and it's very important for you to think for yourself, and that thinking for yourself being also you don't have to. It feels like an inner knowing here. It feels like an inner knowing of what's right for you and knowing that you're good enough, an inner knowing of that you're good enough. Because the Six of Coins is about, for me, and this spread is about balance, giving and receiving. So I see a lot blowing up. I like to use dramatic language sometimes. They just told me like blowing up is kind of, may scare people. But I see a great shift in the way, and something that's about people pleasing, or something that's about feeling not good enough on the inside, so constantly trying to prove yourself on the outside. And I feel June is a time when there's going to be a lot of inner work on knowing yourself. And on the bottom of the deck, you have the Knight of Cups, which to me is like a heart-led quest, but with a divine messenger and, you know, an earthly companion. So you're accompanied by all that you need to get where you're going. There are people who will try to throw you off of your horse, or you'll endanger, you know, your animals, your guides, and yourself by going off course to help someone who is not going to help you in return, who's going to let you succumb to this ocean here, or right, or going to ask you to borrow your coat and then it gets freezing. So there's a lot of energy around self-worth and not needing to prove yourself to anybody. That is what I am feeling. So this surrender deck, I'm just going to grab a couple more of the cards, Power of Surrender cards, to close your update. Okay. The first card you got is Surrender to complete healing. Open fully to the loving, compassionate forces of the universe that support your physical, emotional, and spiritual healing. Then surrender to rest and sleep. To prevent burnout, slow down, honor your need for quiet time and peaceful sleep to rejuvenate your mind, body, and spirit. I totally am feeling that with the fertile void. Rest and patience. I want to get another card. Yeah. Doesn't feel like the one, but I'm not gonna. Surrender your fear of intimacy. You are ready to let love in, compassionately identify, and begin to release any patterns that stop you from opening your heart. Oh, okay, yeah. So if you've been acting how you think you need to act around certain people, then that's also, you need to let people start seeing you. And I have a feeling that sometimes you're also hiding yourself to make other people feel like not intimidated by you, and that's also not a nice place to operate from. So this is all, there's a lot of that, how you balance your giving of energy with others, ability or willingness to give or not give is going to be, this is starting in June. They say it's not going to be done in June, but June is take time for complete healing, hang out in the fertile void, spend time with yourself as need be, and get a lot of rest up, especially if this new opportunity has already presented itself. Make sure that you get rest, because it feels like later in the year you're going to be a very busy bee. Yeah. Take the time in June to have some, as much joy as possible. You have some challenges coming up that you need to have resilience for. So, Aquarius North Node, that is your reading. I wish you all the best for the month of June, and I'll see you next time. Until then, take care, be well, and stay blessed. Bye for now. Hello. Virgo North Node, welcome to your reading for June 2022. I'm going to pull your first 4 cards from the Rose Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. The Wasteland, sustainability, slow down, tend to your garden. Codes of the Seeds. The blueprint is within you. Take the next step. Yeah. The Rose Thread. Inner call, soul led. The Mystic. Living courageously. Oh, it's this one. And the Sun. Joy, enjoyment, life force, success, vitality, and play. Excellent. Excellent. So you got joy times 2. What I'm seeing is that there's no reason to rush forward in the month of June. You are completely invited and supported in kind of just living your truth. And, you know, we're always thinking, oh, what about my career and my goals and this and that? What's going to happen with that? Like, those are often the questions I get when I do readings. But, you know, a lot of our life manifestations are determined by who we are when, like, nobody's looking. Right? And who we are when we're just being, and if we are able to just be. And here it is, I see, like, with Blueprint is within you, take the next step. I feel like they're not actually asking you to take another step as much as that step is like, okay, just be yourself, whoever that is. Just be that and let people come or go based on that, right? Rather than, and that may be, they say that for some of you that is living courageously because there's something, like, you have been tempering your personality for the sake of something, right? For the sake of something or somebody, and maybe for the sake of keeping a job, and maybe for the sake of keeping a relationship peaceful. But whatever it is, there is definitely a need for you to, you know, this is not something that you can sustain. And yeah, it's not something that you can sustain. So you need to, because this inner call to live your life courageously, and it shouldn't even be courageous to just be yourself, but in some places it is, you know, courage, you need to be courageous to be yourself. And also because, you know, we have all this deep-seated fear of not being accepted, being cast out of society, being persecuted, being abandoned. It's like a massive collective wound. Because why else do we have rules of engagement where we accept the fact that people are not themselves when they talk to us? I, for one, I can't stand that, which is why for most of my life, I have not really been, let's say, an intelligent socializer, like, because I can tell you're not being yourself, and I'm going to pretend that I don't see that. Like, that's not me, if at all. But we live in a society where, you know, you go to a certain type of function, a black tie function, and you have on a suit and you speak a certain way. We pretend that, okay, now you know how to conduct yourself. You're a certain type of person. And, you know, it's not like we encourage people to come to those events wearing, I don't know, something that's not in line with those expectations, right? And not knowing which fork to use with which meal or whatever. So the point is that we have built in social acceptance of putting on a face and not being yourself, which is what you are getting to slow down and toss at the moment. Or, sorry, at the moment, in the month of June. So in the center here, we have the Jester, Reynolds Whole Rose, card 38, which adds up to 11. And the Jester, like, what does the Jester do when you really think about it? They say somewhat politically incorrect things. Like, they're the only ones who were allowed to make fun of the king or make fun of the royal family. But they had to also be very careful, like to do it with tact and make sure that everyone was laughing and not including the person who they were making fun of, right? So this is about not taking everything so seriously. Like, have a nice, light-hearted month of June if you can. That will serve you very well, Virgo. North Node, that is. Like, I feel like I hope I don't go through your reading too quickly. I want to give you like a full detailed something, but it just feels like the whole point of the month of June is for you to be yourself and see what that brings, and not take everything too seriously and engage in other people's drama if they are not, if you go to a black tie event in a pink satin suit, then oh well. Like, that is are people really going to judge me based on what I'm wearing, or are they really going to, or are we, moving to a society where people are valued for the content of their character? And if that, and just keep it light and keep it moving, really. You have the Three of Coins. And I love this because it's like, I can't tell if these people, because they have their own drums here or percussion pentacles, I can't tell if they're happy or unhappy. But this one, he's doing his thing regardless of these scary guys. And maybe those scary figures are not that scary. They only appear to be so, but really they're actually helping to create the music, right? So I do feel like, be in your own world and trust that those who hear the music in your head will dance along. And those that don't, well, if they think you're nuts, then they think you're nuts, and moving on. Because that's going to be, June, I feel, for everybody is like this important jump off point for what's going to happen in the rest of the year. Like, this is the 6th month of the year. And so you still have 6 more to go. It's like this transition point where you're practicing. It's like a place for practicing. And the 7 of Cups. Then you have the Page of Wands in the center. The Page of Cups. And the Hierophant. And they want this one. The 3 of Cups in reverse. Kind of goes there. Okay. They want you to investigate what you really are wishing for. What are your heart's desires? Get really in touch with your soul and figure that out in the month of June, because the Page of Wands is, being a little naive and going forward and testing things out, seeing how it's not the complete naivete of the Fool, but the Page is, in both cases, they're a little bit, testing the waters, trying on, walking in high heels for the first time, shooting an arrow for the first time. They're learning how to wield their power. And the Page of Wands, going through life not caring what other people think. And that also be, not caring what people think and not being defensive and offensive, because some people tend to go to, I don't care what people think, but they have a really big ego wall about it. It's like, if you don't care what people think, you also don't need to tell me that you don't care what people think. You know what I'm saying? Like, we also don't need to be validated by constantly saying it. Like, just be. And The Page of Wands in your case, Virgo North Node, is practicing just being. Page of Cups, practicing just feeling and just observing and not necessarily acting on other people's BS. And sometimes it's not BS, you know, sometimes also if someone is completely, you know, admiring you and putting you on a pedestal, you say thank you, you know, I appreciate it, and don't really, you also don't have to let yourself get caught up in that. It's a time to be aware of your own vibration and be observant of how that affects other people, and feel free not to necessarily do anything about that, but just to know. It's just about knowing. And then we have the Hierophant and the Three of Cups in reverse. Family expectations. Do you need to clear some of that from your system? You may need to. You also may need to, if you are someone who, okay, so let's say I'm telling you to not care about what people think and to live courageously and such. Part of the reason why you may not feel so free to do that, Virgo North Node, is because you know how you have been, how you and your friends, or you and maybe your family members, how you guys talk about other people, and you've been involved in that. And so you have to look at, if you think that other people, you know, think certain things when you do or wear certain things or act certain ways, you have to look at how you are towards other people as well. And how your community is towards other people. In terms of, with respect to the question of, this makes that person happy, that is their authentic self, you know, they dress like this, they talk like this, they like these type of things. Do I have judgment about that? And if I have judgment about that, why am I so unwilling? Well, why do I? If I want to be free to be joyful and authentic, then I need to create room for other people to be joyful and authentic. So it's both. You've got both of those things going on in the month of June. Let's see what your surrender cards are saying. I'm going to pick, oh, there you go. First, surrender to your full power. Your life is calling you to step into your full power rather than playing it small. Yes, step into your authentic self. And if you have some behaviors that criticize or belittle other people, you know, you should probably stop doing that. Because you don't want that to be done to you. And that's fine. If you've done it in the past, you could always change it. You make a choice every day whether or not you're going to, you know, how you're going to use your words. Surrender to your soul's path. Your life's journey has been perfectly designed for your soul's growth. Embrace every lesson and every moment. I think that's it. They want me to just let it chime out right there. So, Virgo North Node, always a pleasure. I'll see you next time in July. And until then, take care, be well, and stay blessed. Bye for now. Pisces North Node. Nice to see ya. Figuratively. I'm going to grab 4 cards from the Rose Oracle by Rebecca Campbell for your June 2022 North Node update. The Thorn, protection, boundaries, clear communication. What else for Pisces North Node? The Sacred Union, beloved within, inner and outer relationships. the bloom, creations realized, right time, harvest, celebrate. And last but not least, the last card is sticky. Sticky last card. What else for Pisces North Node? It's supposed to be 4. Pisces North Node. Okay. Temple of the Rose, ancient power, expression, activation, scarlet codes. This is interesting because out of all of the readings today, not a single one of these cards showed up in anyone else's reading. And at the bottom of the deck, you have Brothers of the Rose, sacred masculine, honor, protection, and support. So Pisces North Node, I feel in the month of June, you will be navigating how people see you, like your reflection, your interpretation of what people think of you, your interpretation of that's not really the way we're feeling that. It's more, I feel you're going to discover a lot of what really people really think about you. And some of your relationships may not be as positive as you think. I'm just pulling the center card now because and we have the Explorer in the middle. And that's from the Oracle of the Roses. It's a strange feeling. It's like I feel like something is going to really rock the way you think about relationships. Like some of your relationships are really going to be rocked to the core. Yet that is exactly what needs to happen. Like it's the right time, as this card says. It's exactly the right time because I have this feeling you're going to be activated in some way. Something is going to be activated for you. Through this. Like this defining of your relationships. So you may, I feel a deep discussion coming on for you in the month of June. Like a deep discussion about the real nature of your relationship, maybe even a relationship that passed, like why you and somebody broke up, why you guys argued, if there's been something unspoken as well. Now you're going to end up speaking about it. Because I feel on this line, you have like something seriously, some stuff that needs to be said that may not be that pleasant is going to be said. But on this line, I'm feeling like something amazing is going to blossom. And one may not have anything to do with the other. And I can't even go there and say, oh, you know, but out of the ashes rises. But no, this seems like two completely, it may come together after June, but in June, it just feels like, yeah. You have two very distinct lines of development happening. So I have to show you what's kind of going on in the tarot here. I hope that my shuffling didn't make it difficult for me to hear, for you to hear me. Sorry. So in your tarot cards that accompany this, you have the Knight of Coins in reverse. I'll lay it out in a moment. The Four of Wands in reverse. The Three of Coins in the upright. I'll just lay it here for now while I figure this out. And then we have the Page of Coins in reverse. The Seven of Swords in the upright. And then this was straggling and kept the Ten of Cups in reverse. So I didn't even touch the Explorer in the middle yet, but ooh, your energy is kind of... I'm going to bring the tarot in a moment. And at the bottom of the deck, we had the Ace of Swords upright. And I feel like I'm going to have to give you that. You're my last reading for this series. So I feel like the guides are just like, they want to make sure that they say everything they have to say for Pisces. Pisces North Node. So what is the Explorer saying? Like, it could be a physical journey. It could be personal exploration. But I feel like because of your exploring, I feel like this is exploring your past. And this is exploring, like, if this new way, if there's another way of being that will bring you more joy. But I feel you really visiting the past and burying the hatchet for certain things, and, you know, clearing the air about certain things. And I feel like this is like at the Explorer is at the center because you really want to have discussions. Now, this discussion, this is a more pleasant discussion because it feels like a creative interaction. It feels like, as I said, an activation. It feels like an awakening. It feels like certain exploring new relationships has opened up opportunities for you to create different things in your world, whether it be, hey, let's start a baseball league, or let's, collaborate on a song, whatever. But this is definitely something that feels like a blossoming. But this one is a hatchet that needs to be buried. The Knight of Coins is, I have to put these all together, I think. And who's going to be in the center? Center. I feel like if this was a romantic relationship, I'm not even going to go in there. They're saying let's keep it like general. Something that you felt certain was going, because the Knight of Coins in the upright is reliable, steady movement forward. Something you can trust in, something you can depend on. And I feel like that there was some trust that was betrayed. There's some disappointment. There's something you really thought you could rely on. It rocked the happiness of the home. It caused some destruction in the home, or of your feeling of safety and with an intimacy with people. Something disrupted your feeling of safety. Three of Coins, kind of went about your own business, and found some other people who support you, even though doesn't necessarily feel like you really let them in. And that may also continue into the month of June, like this feeling that you would like to get closer to people, but you don't necessarily trust them. The Page of Coins in reverse, you seem to find a new, let's say, energy of people, a new grouping of people where you're starting to feel at home, but you may doubt how you really fit in there, or if that will be a long-term friendship, if you could really invest in it, or a long-term relationship. And the Seven of Swords is showing me that you may spend in June time like really wondering if people have ulterior motives. And this is because, well, you've been burned in the past. Like, you seem to have been so close to that, to some type of, like, they're telling me like someone who was on a certain career track who got screwed over by a friend in the process. Someone got screwed over by somebody. And some of you were the one doing the screwing. But the month of June is offering the Ace of Swords, which is going to be like higher perspective and clarity about moving forward. And that may bring this ex-person into your life and renewed, or it will bring just a whole new way of being into your life. Or you may find a way to balance the two worlds. But I'm feeling like right now there's nothing set in stone with that. You're being shown, though, different possibilities for how to move forward. And you're being offered some clarity. And this is why, once again, we're always going back to the joy card, as joy being our barometer, our indication of whether or not we are aligned with our highest good and our highest desires. So now I got some more surrender cards, so from the Power of Surrender deck, specifically for you, Pisces North Node. So we have surrender your desire to control people. Being over-controlling can sabotage relationships. To more effectively achieve your goals, back off, regroup, and give the situation some breathing room. I'm just going to leave that there. There's a lot I could say about that, but I'm going to leave that. I think in the context of what resonated with you from the rest of the reading, you know where that advice may come in. The only thing that they do want me to say is that this desire to control people may have stemmed from the fact that you trusted somebody a lot and they betrayed you. Surrender to miracles. Be open to miracles occurring in your life. Feel and know that these events are real. Let go of any resistance and banish any doubt that miracles can happen. And next, surrender your attachment to results. The formula for success is to do all you can to make things happen, then let go of the results. Holding on too tightly to a desired outcome can sabotage it. And last but not least, surrender stubbornness. If you're tensing up or taking a rigid stance about something, gently observe yourself and become more yielding. This will help you communicate more lovingly with others and yourself. Okay, so it looks like you have a lot of surrendering to do. What I'm getting here, I'll just give you a little summary of these four together. If you are trying to control people as a means to keep yourself from being disappointed, or you're always looking for ulterior motives in the situation, then you're not giving your relationships room to like really fully develop into what they could be, which also could be really valuable contacts. And surrender to miracles. If you feel like there's no love out there anymore, or there's no true friends, no real people out there who you can connect with, allow yourself to believe that, you know, you met some people that didn't really quite jive with you and who are not of the best intention, but there are people out there like that. Even if it feels like those people are a million miles away, you need to believe that they're out there. Don't go into relationships expecting people to act a certain way. It attaches to this, expecting people to act a certain way and expecting things to happen a certain way. You know, be the best that you can be and move on. And move on with, in the knowing that you are a good person at heart with good intentions. Stubbornness, if you feel that you're always right and you always have to be right, you need to let that go, because some of this stuff that you're dealing with in the past, you know, be careful what you wish for or what you imagine. If you imagine standing there and being able to tell the person what you think of them, they may have something to say to you in response, and you need to take that as their truth as well. I'm going to leave that there. So that may not apply to everybody. Take what resonates. Love y'all. Have a great month of June, and I'll see you next time. Until then, take care, be well, and stay blessed. Bye for now.